So you're a baller and you want to live in a luxury high-rise apartment in one of the most expensive cities in all of the US? Let me show you a life of luxury. I visited around 30 apartment buildings all over downtown, so I'm only going to show you the best. And if you've got deep pockets, this is the baseline of what we're going to consider luxury today. This apartment has got to have a balcony. Washer, dryer, dishwasher in unit. Smart thermostats, obviously. We're talking pools, hot tubs, gyms, lounges, grilling areas, co-working spaces, in-building parking, all with beautiful interior design. Not to mention a great location. So let's go through my list of top 5 luxury apartments in downtown San Diego. Stealing my #1 spot is the Lindley on Columbia Street between West Ash and West 8th Street. The Lindley really snagged my #1 spot for 2 major reasons. The first one being that it has incredible storage inside the apartments. I'm talking about the floor-to-ceiling closed cabinets that they have in the hallways, in the front entry, by the washer-dryer. That kind of space to tuck away unsightly things or extra cleaning supplies or random electronics, random wires, you name it, you have it. It's just invaluable in apartment living, and it's something that I don't think any other luxury building has really taken into account like the Lindley has. And the second major reason that I think the Lindley is the #1 luxury apartment building in downtown San Diego has to do with their variety of amenities. They have the widest selection of amenities in all of downtown, hands down, and each one of them is done very, very well. They have a sauna, a cold plunge, they have 2 separate massage rooms, one with like a water massage chair already installed. They have a gym, they have a Pilates room. They have like a cycling/yoga studio within the gym. They have a saltwater pool, a hot tub, a rooftop area, a social lounge with a piano, a game room. You name it, they have it. They kind of blow all of the other apartments away with the range of amenities they have. It has filtered water in the gym and I believe throughout the rest of the building. And coming from Michigan, that is huge because California/San Diego water is awful. The materials that they use in the amenity spaces and inside the apartments are fantastic. They have floor outlets in the apartments, which I think are just like a must when it comes to luxury apartments nowadays. They have built-in desks for all of the 2-bedroom layouts, which is great when you're working from home. A lot of their floor plans have views of the ocean, of the harbor, Coronado Island. A lot of them have views of airplanes touching down and lifting off from the airport, which I think is just so cool. So all of those points have you covered if you're like me and like to spend 99.9% of their time inside the apartment building. But if you're more concerned with location and what to do in the area, the Lindley also has you covered because it's 3 blocks away from the heart of Little Italy. And for young adults, I think Little Italy is a great area. It's relatively safe, it's definitely more walkable. There are so many restaurants and bars, and being able to walk back to your apartment after those kinds of social events is amazing. So if you can afford it, I think the Lindley is the way to go, hands down. In second place, we have 525 Olive on Olive Street between 4th and 5th Avenue in Bankers Hill. When you walk around 525 Olive, I think it becomes very clear why it is my #2 pick for all of downtown San Diego. It creates a smaller community feel, and I think that's part of its appeal. And the interior decorating and materials and design of the entire space just exudes luxury. So 525 Olive is in Bankers Hill, which makes it a little bit further away from central downtown San Diego, but it's also the highest elevation of any apartment building in all of downtown because Bankers Hill is actually a hill. It overlooks all of downtown, so from the rooftop pool and lounge area, which itself is an amazing space, so beautiful, but you can actually watch the airplanes come in to land, and they are at a lower elevation as they're flying in than you are at the rooftop of the building. So it's a very cool perspective. You have to go check it out. On top of the apartments themselves being beautiful and having amazing balcony spaces and also probably my favorite kitchens of any of these luxury buildings, 525 Olive sits right across the street from Balboa Park, and I think the proximity to such a huge park with so many trails to hike, so many grass spaces to sit and have a picnic, play grass volleyball, which I totally would do, walk across the bridge to all of the array of museums that Balboa Park has to offer, and all of the random events events that happen at Balboa Park in general, I just think the location is great for those outdoorsy folks that just love to be outside all the time. And if you have a dog, an amazing space to have your daily walks. Up next at number 3 is the Radian on 9th Street between Market and G Street in East Village. The Radian might be the smallest apartment building that has made it to my top 5 list, and it definitely has that small, close-knit community feel. It has your usual set of amenities you would expect out of a luxury building, like a rooftop pool and lounge area, a gym, and that rooftop pool just happens to overlook Petco Park, so if you're a huge baseball fan, this might be it for you. But I would say these areas might be a little bit smaller than at the Lindley or at some of the other bigger apartment buildings that I'll talk about in a second. With the Radian, I think you just get the best bang for your buck when it comes to the apartment sizes and layouts themselves. I think the number of layouts that the Radian has is a lot more than some of these other buildings. It's just a lot more diverse layouts that you can pick and choose from. The ceiling heights are definitely taller in these layouts than any of the other apartment buildings I'm going to be talking about. So that's kind of a big deal. It makes your space feel bigger overall. And in general, the square footage that you're going to get for the amount that you pay is just higher than any of the other buildings I'm talking about today. They definitely have the biggest balcony layouts. They have some really nice materials that are used inside of the apartments. Their stoves are smartphone compatible, and some of their ovens are like dual ovens so that there's 2 areas that you can cook in at the same time, which is pretty fancy. All of their layouts have 2 sinks in the bathroom, which is huge when you are sharing an apartment with someone. They have big closets, they have a desk built in for their 2-bedroom layouts. And while the Radiant is located in the East Village, it is fairly close to the center of Gaslamp, where you would be going out to all of the clubs and bars. So being able to walk home after a night out is amazing. Number 4 on my list is the West on Broadway in Core, Columbia. I feel like out of this entire list of luxury apartment buildings, the West is like your everyman. It has everything, it does everything, but maybe you're not ready to pay like the $5,000 to $6,000 range. The West is probably for you. The West is also the only multi-use building in all of downtown right now, and I love that concept, including living spaces with corporate offices. I think that's definitely a key to a thriving downtown area. There's going to be lots of retail space on the first floor of the West, and Kava has already moved into one of those, so if you like Kava, there you go. There's a Whole Foods that's going to be opening up in, I think, a year or 2 in its sister building that's just a couple blocks down. So that's going to provide some great grocery opportunities for you. And it is in a central area of downtown, so it's actually right by the courthouses. So I would say that it's typically a little bit safer in that area. You could walk to the Gaslamp quarter, you could walk all the way down to the harbor and, walk around there. And in general, I would say they have all of the amenities you need. They have a pool, a hot tub, a lounge space, an outdoor grilling area. All of their layouts are great. They have balconies, though I will say their balcony areas are a lot smaller than some of the other apartment buildings, so keep that in mind. But their 2-bedroom spaces are all corner units. They have bigger square footage than a lot of the apartment buildings. They have floor outlets, they have double sinks for the 2-bedroom layouts, which is always a plus. They have great city views, and a couple of the layouts also have amazing views of the harbor and of the ocean. They just have great apartment layouts, and like I said before, it is pretty central, especially when it comes to my list of top 5 luxury apartment buildings, so I would definitely say give it a look. Coming in at a solid number 5 is the Simone Little Italy. That's on Union Street between West Beach and West Ash Street in, you guessed it, Little Italy. When it comes to the Simone, there is one thing that makes it a huge standout and the reason why it made my top 5. And that has got to be its interiors. I think the Simone, out of probably all of the other apartment buildings I have mentioned today, has the most beautiful interior decorating style. The designers have done such an amazing job with this space. I'm talking about the green marble in the mailroom, the furniture they used in the lounge spaces, the secret hidden little bar area that they have that is like behind a bookcase. It's all very cool, very edgy, just gorgeous. Which lends itself to my next point, which is that the Simone does a great job with its amenity spaces and its community feel. The Simone is definitely one of the bigger apartment buildings with a lot more of a younger crowd, I would say. So if you are looking to make a lot of new friends, to always have something to do, to always be going out, I would recommend the Simone to you. It has a great location with it being so close to Little Italy, so there's always going to be things for you and your new friends to do. The rooftop pool has a great view of the harbor. It is gorgeous. They also have a outdoor like pizza oven, which I think is very unique. And when it comes to the apartments themselves, I think they do a good job with those as well. They have floor outlets, they have Nest systems built in, which is A+ for me. Great closet spaces. In general, I think these layouts might be a little bit smaller than some of these other apartment buildings that made it to my top 5, but the amenities is really where the Simone kills it. Let me know what you think of my top 5 luxury apartments. Do you think I missed any? Would you spend that kind of money on an apartment like that? What if you had the budget? Let me know in the comments down below, and give this video a like if it helped you at all, and subscribe for more San Diego living. I will see you guys next time.